Apologies, racing back. This is part 2 of the two-part one on tactical versus technical, and we were looking at what you need as a beginner locksmith. So apologies, the phone died, I have arrived. So we were going through the list before of things that would be helpful to you, and just to reiterate, in case you haven't watched part 1, please do go back and watch part 1. This is the end of that video. American imports, try and avoid them like the plague. You will get hit with shipping and handling costs. I bought a set of 4 pics for £35 and it cost me £151 in shipping and handling fees. So we covered that in the first video, but we are just going on from that now. The other thing, yes, shipping costs we mentioned. The other thing we mentioned was Amazon is absolutely excellent for a wide variety of locks and picks. Beyond that, do a general search. You will learn so much by searching for what you want. You will find hundreds of things that you don't want and hundreds of things you didn't realise existed. So you'll suddenly realise how much more there is out there, and it will broaden your horizons and help you enormously in choosing your picks that you want. Yes, look out for trade accounts. If you are a company set up, try and look for trade accounts, because you will get discounts and deals, and you will sometimes get picks and locks that you wouldn't otherwise get because they restrict them to locksmiths only. We mentioned Bogota, we mentioned multi-pick, and we mentioned Clom. We also mentioned the Chinese picks, which are on Amazon. They are all excellent. They are these. It's what I would go to first. I can highly recommend them, and I very much like them, so I want to recommend them to you. Practice on real locks. Practice locks are great when you need to understand what is going on inside the lock, and you can see the pins going up and down, and you can see what your pick is doing. But in reality, if you're actually physically learning to pick the lock, use real locks, not plastic locks or the acrylic ones, because they will not behave the same as a big heavy metal lock. Practice on real locks. Change your locks at home, get spare ones, get friends to save you their old ones, and so on and so forth. But real locks are the best way to learn real padlocks as well. Buy cheap, buy cheerful, work your way up to maybe a couple of expensive ones, because if you're charging £75 to £90 an hour to pick someone's lock, it's a good investment to buy a couple of expensive ones, because you'll make the money back as soon as you are picking them successfully. So that is that. As I say, this is the back end on, or part 2 if you will, of the first video I made, where the phone unfortunately died on me and cut me mid-flow. But just to reiterate, go back, have a look at part 1. We covered Clom, we covered the Chinese, we covered master keys, we covered the Amazon picks, we covered Bogota picks, we covered the little fancy picks, we covered multi-pick, which is similar to Bogota but different style. We covered cone picks, the fat ones, the thin ones, sorry, the thin ones, the fat ones, and the long ones with narrow gaps. We covered the cabinet, key boxes and cash boxes picks. We covered a couple of worm rakes, fat and skinny, why they're good and why they're not good. And we also covered the tubular picks, and if it fits, it picks. And the series of, there's about 5 of these with the blue handles. Various companies make them. N Superlock do, I believe UK Bump Keys do as well, so go and have a look. And beyond that, the only other things I would recommend that you go out and buy is a small, I'll put the name at the front for you, a small heavy Amtech vise. Very good quality, nice and solid, great for holding locks and practicing on. GT85 spray all the way. There is a previous video that says never use WD-40, always use GT85 spray in your locks, and shoot anybody that does anything else. Symbolically speaking, of course. Don't go out shooting people because they've used the wrong spray, just educate them. The only time you would use WD-40 is if you get the special one, or the silver edition I believe it is, that has PTFEs in, which are the crucial factor here with PTFE, because that is exactly what you need for your lock, and that is the missing ingredient in WD-40 that will otherwise ruin your locks. So there we are. I hope you've watched both parts, I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope this is more teaching and technical for new locksmiths coming in, and more helpful than just teaching you what not to do, but also what to do and what to buy. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Goodbye.